In a previous video, I shared the pros and cons of first-person point of view. Now I want to talk about the second most important decision after you've decided to use first person. That is who your narrator is. Who your narrator is going to define the type of story you have and impact the tone and your reader's perception of the characters. So it's a very important decision. There are three main types of narrators: a trustworthy narrator telling their own story, a trustworthy character telling someone else's story, and a non-trustworthy character telling their story. This is Ignited Ink Writing, a channel dedicated to helping writers like you transform your writing so it lingers with readers, because stories that linger get remembered and recommended to others. And at the end of the day, don't we all want to be read? I'm Caitlin Burvey, editor and writer. Let's jump right into the first type of narrator, reliable protagonist. This is the most common type of narrator. It's a trustworthy character telling their own story. It should be clear immediately that your narrator is trustworthy in this case, and you should establish that they're telling their own story and not someone else's. In Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs, the main character Jacob does this right off the bat with the passage. I had just begun to accept the fact that my life would be ordinary when extraordinary things began to happen. The first of these came as a terrible shock, and like anything that changes you forever, split my life into two halves, before and after. Jacob is letting you know he's telling you his story. He's telling you about the event that changed him and his world forever. The reliable protagonist narrator is what's expected in memoirs and autobiographies because you're telling your story. If you come across as unreliable, you come across as a liar. And if you are really telling someone else's story, then you're writing a biography. You're not actually writing a memoir or an autobiography at that point. The biggest advantage to using a reliable protagonist narrator is that you gain the reader's trust right off the bat. They're going to believe anything that character says. That's a really big deal and is not something that you should take for granted. Having your readers automatically believe your story makes your job as the writer easier. Also, reliable protagonists tend to be likable narrators, but they don't have to be. Examples of a reliable protagonist narrator are Alchemy of the Afterlife by Linda Kinnaman, Hounded by Kevin Hearn, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, and Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. The second type of narrator I want to talk about is when another character is telling the protagonist's story. So in this case, the speaking character is still trustworthy, they're just not the main character. They could be important for the story, or they could be someone who's just standing by watching. This is the case in The Book Thief by Marcus Zuckick. The narrating character is Death, but the protagonist is Liesel, a little girl that Death is watching. Death lets you know that this is not his story with the passage. As for me, I had already made the most elementary of mistakes. I can't explain to you the severity of my self-disappointment. Originally, I'd done everything right. I studied the blinding white snow sky. I practically inhaled it, but still I wavered. I buckled. I became interested in the girl. Curiosity got the better of me, and I resigned myself to stay as long as my schedule allowed, and I watched. Even though Death changes as much as a supreme being can in The Book Thief, he is not the book thief. Liesel is, and it's her story that he's telling. The biggest advantage to using another character to tell the protagonist's story is the author gets to control the perspective through which the reader sees the protagonist. This means they have a certain amount of control over the reader's opinion of their main character, and they can also choose a secondary character because they know more or less than the protagonist, and so they're better able to manipulate the mystery and suspense and tension of the story. Other times your protagonist would just never tell their own story. That's just not something the character would do, so you need someone else to do it for them. And by showing the protagonist through another character's point of view, you get to see their opinion of the protagonist and their actions, and that can color your reader's opinion too. Examples of one character telling another character's story are Nick Carraway in F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, Dr. Watson in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and Lemony Snicket in A Series of Unfortunate Events. The third and final type of narrator I want to talk about is the unreliable narrator. This is a character who's telling their own story and they're not trustworthy. In theory, every narrator is biased and not trustworthy because every person is biased, and so their point of view is subjective, but that's not the definition of an unreliable narrator. In literature, a true unreliable narrator is someone who is clearly and intentionally biased, not credible, and/or misunderstands what's happening around them. So notice that they are clearly and intentionally, the writer means to make them unreliable. In order to have an unreliable narrator, your story needs to be written in first person. Technically, second and third person points of view don't have narrators, so they can't have an unreliable narrator. The characters themselves, though, can still be unreliable. A great example of an unreliable narrator is Humbert Humbert in Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. I can't really say his last name well. In this case, Humbert Humbert is a pedophile, and he's trying to convince the reader that what he's done is not wrong. And readers know he's unreliable from the third paragraph. Did she have a precursor? She did. Indeed she did. In point of fact, there might have been no Lolita at all had I not loved one summer a certain initial girl child, in a princedom by the sea. Oh, when? About as many years before Lolita was born as my age was that summer. You can always count on a murderer for a fancy prose style. The creepiness of Humbert and the slow reveal of who he is and what he's done would not be possible if he was not the narrator. Another point of view would not show this as intensely as Humbert's point of view does, and a different narrator wouldn't know the things that Humbert does, wouldn't be able to get inside his head. An unreliable narrator can intentionally lie to the reader, like Humbert does, or the narrator can unintentionally lie. We see this a lot in child narrators, who are too naive or who don't have enough information to really know what's going on. Now, the author still intends them to be unreliable. The characters themselves don't intend to be unreliable in that case. Unreliable narrators can be difficult to pull off in longer works because people don't like to be lied to. And that's basically what an unreliable narrator is doing. So writers have to really control the story and the reader's opinion of the characters in order to pull off an unreliable narrator for a long work. An example of an unreliable narrator in a shorter piece is The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. In longer works, we've seen it done recently. The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins has an unreliable narrator, and so does Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Next, I want to leave you with an editor's thoughts on the importance of narrators. Picking your narrator, the person who's telling your story, is one of the most important decisions you have to make. If you choose the wrong character, the story can fall flat and the character can be lifeless. And that can be the difference between a successful story and an unsuccessful one. To figure out who should narrate your story, ask yourself whose story is this really? And then ask yourself who is the most interesting character? Who has the strongest voice? Notice I didn't say who's the most likable. Likability is not a good enough reason to pick someone to be your narrator. A successful narrator is going to be the character who holds your reader's interest, who has a unique perspective, and who knows the information you need the reader to know. That might not necessarily be your protagonist, and it might not necessarily be the most likable character in your story. For me, it all comes down to the character's voice. I like a narrator who, when you line up 100 stories, I can pick them out. I know which story is theirs. Who tells your story is just as important as which point of view you choose to use, and as a lot of other aspects of your story, like where you choose to set it and the time frame and the characters. Do you have a favorite type of narrator to read or to write? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And subscribe to Ignited Ink Writing for more videos like this. Videos designed to help you transform your writing so it lingers with your readers. I'm Caitlin Burvey, editor and writer. To find out more about me, go to www.ignitedinkwriting.com. Now it's your turn. Are you going to use a reliable protagonist, another character, or an unreliable narrator to ignite your ink?